Adityaya Namaha. Good morning everyone and welcome to Swami Agneshwara Suryananda Satsang. Today we're going to be learning about the true path to samsara. The path of samsara is an extremely important path. It is the path that the majority of this existence take to reach enlightenment. And over the various course of history, the true path of samsara has been cut and shifted and changed little by little, and the truth is almost gone. Some people even believe that you must first experience samsara and then go to sannyas and then reach enlightenment. Completely wrong. You can reach enlightenment in samsara or sannyas. They both lead to enlightenment. But some fools, people who do not know what enlightenment is, and do not have enlightenment themselves, these sorts of fools will run around saying all sorts of this nonsense, you see. Now, you can reach enlightenment through samsara. Now let me explain what true samsara is. Because many people, they'll give you the general, it means you marry someone. No. If you marry someone, that is called a marriage. That is not called samsara. The path of samsara is the path of soul unity. When you and your spouse unify both in the physical realm and the spiritual realm. Because you see, those who follow the true path of samsara are going to be not only together in this reality, but in many more to come. If they obtain enlightenment together, they will stay together for many more lifetimes. That is the truth behind samsara. Now, what is samsara? As I said before, it is the unity, but it is more than that. You see, when you follow the true path of samsara, you are not only trying to unify with the soul, physically and spiritually, but you are trying to find the next stage, not enlightenment, but the next stage before the enlightenment. You see, when you are following the path of samsara, it is very simple. You must form a unity with the other soul. Now I'll give you a small example of how this unity should be and how this unity wouldn't be. For example, let us start with the basic existence in the physical reality. For example, when you wake up in the morning, I am sure your spouse and you will have some sort of argument over some minor thing in life, some very minor thing. For example, she would want you to brush your teeth before you drink coffee, but you want to drink coffee before you brush your teeth. Little thing like that. And it is very dangerous to have this sort of conflict, you see, because the true enlightened path to samsara is when you have no conflict at all. Because you see, when you have the conflict in the marriage, then it is called a marriage. When you do not have conflict, it is called the true path of samsara. Furthermore, it is not just the small things, but it can also be the big things. You see, I am not talking about the problems in the physical reality. I am talking about the problems in the mental reality or the spiritual reality. You see, doubt. Many in the path, or those attempting to take the path of samsara, they try and try to build this unity. But in the spiritual reality, they have doubts, you see. When I say spiritual reality, it can mean one's thoughts, or it can mean one's existence in the spiritual realm. Because you see, they are both one and the same. Because our soul is just a collection of thoughts. And that is what moves on to the astral body and moves on to the astral realm. And so, the thoughts that we have and the existence in the astral world are one of the same. That is why when you do something wrong in the physical realm, you get karma that comes back to you. But when you think something wrong, that becomes a negative thought, and it'll go with you to the next reality. Because that is the soul's thoughts. Thinking is not the same as acting. Acting only has implications in this realm. So, that is why, when you are in the state of samsara, the thoughts are very important. Even having 1 or 2 negative thoughts about your partner, the smallest thoughts can break the unity and destroy the samsara path. You see, you do not have to always think good things about your partner, but you must never think bad things. I'll give you a small example. If you think that your husband is a nuisance, that is a bad thought. But if you think he's not perfect, then that is not bad. It is just accepting the existence. You see, it's very important in the path of samsara that these acceptances in the spiritual reality are permanent. You must accept everything about each other. No matter what it is, you must accept everything. Because the truth is, you are not together with him because you want to be. No. Your soul is limitless. It will go on forever. He is not the first man you will be with, and he is not the last. Of course, maybe in this lifetime you will be with that one man, but you will live many more lifetimes with many more men and many more women. So this is particularly important for the women. Because you see, the women have this mentality, oh, I'm with this man forever. You see, you are only with this man for this existence. You have been with millions of other men in the past existences, but you cannot remember. Some enlightened beings can remember their experiences with all the women in their past lives. There is a specific group of enlightened beings like that. Moving on. You see, for the perfect unity to reach the highest stage of enlightenment, it is very important that the physical problems are sorted and the spiritual thoughts are clear. You see, there is a good phrase I'd like to use. If you cannot think of anything good about your partner, then don't think at all. Because you see, 1 or 2 negative thoughts is worse than no thoughts at all. So if you cannot find anything good, then just stop thinking about your partner. Just tell yourself, I will not think of him. If I think something, I will think negatively. If there is nothing good to think, then do not think at all. That way you can save yourself from the negative thoughts. And as for the physical problems, picture it this way. That is not him, it is just his body. And yes, if its body wants to drink coffee before it smokes, or if it wants to drink coffee before it brushes its teeth, or if it wants to do something before or after, or whatever it is it needs, let it be, let it do whatever it is it wants. It is just the body. I will ignore it. However, I know this can be very difficult for women because they share the understanding through the body. They hug each other. In fact, it is not just women, men as well. Their connection with the other partner is through the body. They hug each other. In the West, you will see they do these kisses. And there is a particular place in Europe where they do this particular type of kiss. It is called the French kiss. But you see, in the East, we are a lot more, I will not say civilized, but hygienic at the very least. But you see, for those who are watching right now, they might think, oh, what is he talking about? Kissing is fine. There are many diseases that can be spread through kissing. Just a little bit of information for you people. Anyway, in the East, there are many cultures that do not kiss. It is because we learnt a long time ago, many diseases spread through kissing. Furthermore, to build this unity, you see, the physical problems, you must overcome them. And for you to be able to overcome the physical problems in the physical reality with your physical partner, it is quite simple. You must tell yourself, this is the physical reality. What I see before me is not my husband. It is simply a shell in which he exists. What I see before me is not my wife. It is simply the shell in which she exists. You must tell yourself this again and again and again. That way you can overcome the problems. Of course, if he is a smoker or if she is a smoker, then it is a little bit difficult because there is that physical interaction that will cause misfortune for you. So, what do you do in that situation? It's quite simple. You simply tell them, do not smoke. Because you see, as long as the reality in samsara, because you see, in the sannyas life, you are the existence. But in the samsara life, you are not the existence. You are living with the existence. You are coexisting with the existence. And because you are coexisting with the existence, you can tell the physical existence to stop doing certain things. Because you are not the existence. You are living in the existence with the existence. And so, if the existence is a nasty thing that smokes and drinks, you can easily tell it, do not, or I will leave. Because when you choose the path of samsara, there is this myth that divorce is like a big problem. You see, the path of samsara is physical and mental unity. And if you cannot physically and mentally unify with a certain being because his existence and your existence do not unify, that is fine. You can divorce. There's nothing wrong with that. But you must remember, there is a difference between divorcing because the existence do not match, and there is a difference when you divorce because there is an ego clash or there is some problem. You see, I will give you a short example. Let us say your partner smokes and you decide, I am going to divorce you. Because you smoke, you must give them a chance. If you stop smoking, I will not leave you. But if you are an existence that is perfect, you do not smoke at all, then you don't have to marry that existence to begin with, because it is a negative existence. You see, you must only follow the path of samsara if the other existence that you are existing with in the path of existence is on the same level as you. If you do not drink, it cannot drink. If you do not smoke, it cannot smoke. That way, the existences can coexist and follow the path of samsara perfectly. And so that is why it is very important before you take the path of samsara. In fact, before you even marry, because remember, marriage and samsara are not the same. Samsara is totally different. It is a common myth that they are the same. The marriage is a joke. The samsara is the truth. Please understand that. Marriage is a Western concept. Samsara is an Eastern concept. You must understand. So, before even the marriage, you must understand that you must be able to unite with that individual on the physical and spiritual level. Most people do not see it on the spiritual level. They only see it on the physical level. Does he have the same habits as me? Does he have the same way of thinking as me? Does he have a good enough career? Does he have a nice enough body? These sorts of physical realities. The spiritual reality is even more important, because you see, at the end of the day, if you're on the same spiritual reality with someone, no matter how problematic the physical reality is, you can surpass it. Because you see, when you are 80 and your partner is somewhere along those lines as well, you will not be able to do any of those lustful activities. Your body will be screwed by then. You will not be able to walk freely, talk freely. And so you see, all the so-called physical activities in the physical existence are cut and cut and cut and reduce till there's only a little bit left. And during that time, if your physical reality and her physical reality did not match during your youth, and so you could not find the ultimate enlightenment, then at least, because the spiritual connection was there, you can find enlightenment at that age, at the very least. That is why they say, first look for a spiritual partner, then worry about a physical one. Because one day, at some point, the physical body will not be a big issue. It will be only the spiritual being, the thoughts. You see, if one person thinks like you, that does not mean he is spiritually or she is spiritually connected in the same way. No. You see, there are many people who think the same way, and because of that they cannot be together. There are cases like that as well, where the samsara path was cut short because, well, I cannot say samsara path, I will say the marriage was cut short because they thought too much alike. The spiritual path, when one says they are spiritually united, what they mean is that their existences unite. They not only understand one another, but they also understand this physical plane of existence is a Maya. Once you understand that this is a Maya, and once both partners understand this, then they can reach the higher level. You see, I'll give you an example. You see, this is an example with two pairs, two partners. A husband and wife on one side, another husband and wife on another. One is spiritually awoken and the other is physically awoken but not spiritually. You see, those with the spiritual awakening, in this example, the husband is saying he's going to go outside. It is 1 o'clock at night. Usually, the first thought the female will have is he going to cheat on me? Why is he going at 1 o'clock at night? That is for the one who is physically united, but not spiritually. However, for the family that is spiritually united, I'm going at 1 o'clock at night, the husband will say. And the wife will say, I do not know what you are going to do. It might be bad, so I am not going to think at all. If you cannot have a good thought, I will not think at all. And then she'll say, can I come with you? You see, the difference is, even though she might have a suspicion, she'll block the thought completely. She'll only think of good thoughts and say, can I come with you? And if the husband says no, still, she will not think anything. She will simply say, when will you come back? And he will say, 5 hours, 6 hours, 2 days, 10 days, whatever the time period may be. She will simply think, it is fine, time is a Maya as well. Because at the end of the day, no matter what it is he is doing, if it is not a good thought that I'm having about it, I will not think at all. That is the true path to samsara. You see, when you think like that, the second that reality hits you, you will be so satisfied inside. The happiness and the self-satisfaction will arrive. Because then, no matter what it is in your couple relationship, because you are spiritually united, you cannot think a bad thought. You simply stop thinking. When you reach that path of samsara, then you can reach enlightenment. Because then, no matter what the problem is, you simply do not think, oh, did he cheat on me? I heard from this person, I heard from that person. You'll think, no. If it is not a good thought, I will not think. If he did, I will find out, or he will tell me. So I should not think anymore. You see, these sorts of ways of thinking, this is what builds the true samsara lifestyle. Furthermore, you must understand that the path of samsara is a difficult one. Because you see, when I have given you these examples, there'll be many women watching this who will think, yeah, I don't see this happening. Yes, it's right. You don't see it happening because you are in a Western marriage. The types that'll end up in divorce immediately. This is the path of samsara. This is an Eastern way of doing things. You see, Lord Shiva, Lord Ganapati, these guys had 2 wives each. But they never declared this as a marriage. They said this is the path of samsara. The reason this is called the path of samsara is because it is not a marriage. A marriage is when you say, I own this person and he owns me. Or you say, she is mine and I am hers. That is a marriage. And as soon as something happens, that'll break. That is the Western ideology. Cannot be helped. But this path of samsara, they are not together because they like each other. No. They are there because they are trying to coexist in the existence with the existence so that they can reach enlightenment. That is the big difference. You see, when you're on the path of samsara, the mentality is not, I'm going to live with this person forever. No, it is, I'm going to live with this person till I reach enlightenment so that I can reach the highest state of being. That is samsara, the path to enlightenment. That is very important to understand. You're not there with your partner because you like him or you want to be around him forever. No. You are there so you can live with the existence as the existence coexisting in the existence. You must understand the difference. You do not own your partner does not own you. Because you see, you're both souls, limitless, endless. And so you're simply together till the existence is over and you have reached the light. But you see, in the path of samsara, if you do something, for example, let us say, your husband cheats on you in the path of samsara. What he has done is broken the samsara. That is no longer a samsara. That is from that point a marriage. That is the difference. Because you see, once he breaks the unity, because you see, if he marries you and then goes and sleeps with someone else, then that is a marriage. That is very normal. That is a marriage. But if he decides to follow the path of samsara, soul unity with you, but then shares his physical body with another being, then that is not samsara. That is a marriage. You see, that is why when Lord Ganesha had 2 wives, he called it a samsara because he already told the 2 women that he will marry both of them and share his body with both of them, and he will never share his body with anyone else. Because you see, when you do it like that, that is a samsara. Because all 3 of them are there to reach the light. They are not there to have a marriage. They are not there to live a life together. No. They are there to reach the light. That is why they are all there. So you must understand the difference. You cannot share your body with someone else in the path of samsara that isn't united with you in the path of samsara. Because it is called cheating if it is a marriage. It is called the breaking of the samsara, and a sin if it is done while you are pursuing the path of samsara. So you must be very careful. You see, the difference between a marriage and the path of samsara is when you are marrying, you are signing a paper at the register office and the government is putting on the record you 2 are together. When you are following the path of samsara, that is not what happens. The path of samsara is decided when you announce that you will be with this soul in front of the Panchabhudam, fire, the element fire. You see, in many so-called Hindu marriages, they have the fire. That is not for the marriage. That is because they are announcing, I am going to follow the path of samsara to the flame. And that is why, if you are going to do a marriage, I suggest just go sign a little paper at the register office at the government facility. But if you are following the path of samsara, do not forget you are doing it in front of a fire. However, if you are doing a marriage in front of the fire and you do not want to follow the path of samsara, then remember, you will burn in hell. Because you see, when you do a marriage and go sleep with someone else, after you have taken the path of samsara in front of the holy fire, it is very wrong. It is better to just do a marriage. If you believe you will cheat, just a little fake document, so-called legitimate document at the register office or some government facility. That is all. That is a marriage. Finish. But do not do it in front of the fire unless you are ready to take the vow of samsara. The samsara path is a very vicious path. It can be very difficult. And you only start a true samsara path when you do it in front of fire. So do not take the vows of the samsara lineage and initiate the samsara path by having a marriage in front of the fire. It was not a marriage in the ancient times, no. It was announcing that they are going to start the enlightenment journey in front of the fire together. You see, the fire, it is a Vedic power, and we must remember, if you are going to take enlightenment, you must first pray to the fire. That is the truth. If you do it in a marriage, or if you do it in the sannyas path, you must first pray to the fire. The fire is limitless. So remember, this is the full explanation of the path of samsara and how it is very different to the Western marriage. And so, remember, if you choose to take the path of samsara, it can be very difficult in many times. And so, it is always recommended by anyone to take the path of sannyas. But it is always your own choice. Adityaya Namaha. Let us let the light of the sun guide us all.